Hello everybody and welcome back to my brand new YouTube series of daily gaming tips where each and every day I'll be looking to upload a tip to help you in the gaming world, ranging from all sorts of games including Overwatch, Star Wars Battlefront 2 and today's game being Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Today we'll be looking at the minimap and the compass, but before we do get into the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy the video, and if you don't then be sure to let me know why in the comments. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, as some of you may or may not be aware, there was some initial controversy surrounding the beta release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Initially, Infinity Ward wanted to do away with the minimap to give the game a more authentic feel. However, due to the backlash from the fans, they quickly backtracked on this decision and the minimap was reinstated. There were some important changes to note with the minimap and compass though, and that's what we'll be looking at today. Now let's start off with the very basics of the minimap and the compass. Now for those who are unaware where the minimap is, which seems like the vast majority of people that I play with in the game, the minimap is located in the top left hand corner and the compass is located at the very top of the screen. The minimap itself is used to show terrain, buildings, friendly players and in certain scenarios which we will go through, the enemy team. The compass is a directional tool which shows some key places in the map by their name, but most importantly shows the direction in which the enemies are firing. The minimap is only really useful if you have a UAV, a personal radar or an advanced UAV. The developers wanted this as they wanted to make the kill streaks more valuable. I agree with this in part, however UAVs are easily shot down in the game and heavily countered by Ghost, which kind of mitigates the value of them. Shooting down the UAV obviously stops the enemy team utilising it, and Ghost users are invisible to UAVs, personal radars and heartbeat sensors. Ghost also soft counters advanced UAV as the user will only show up as a dot as opposed to a directional arrow. Aside from showing the enemy team, buildings and terrain, the minimap also can be useful for knowing where your teammates are. It's important to note the position of your team so you don't get flanked by the opposition, and also so you know where to attack, whether this is on your own or with your teammates. Most importantly about the minimap this year is that it doesn't show unsuppressed fire like in the previous iterations of Call of Duty. Unsuppressed fire is now shown on the compass at the top of the screen, and there are two important things to note here. Number 1, you need to look in a different area of the screen compared to different CODs. I know this sounds obvious, but muscle memory is a big thing in video games and even small changes can have big consequences. Even experienced players who have played the game through many years may not have noticed this important change and are missing out on a big part of the game. So make sure that you're always checking both minimap and compass to get as much information as possible. Number 2, the compass only really shows what's in front of you, and this is a big weakness of it and where many of the complaints of the game have come in. If an enemy is shooting behind you, it can be difficult to quickly ascertain where they are shooting you from before you end up dead. Try to learn how to quickly check the compass and spin, or get a good headset to help you locate the sound of the enemy. This is of course ignoring the many issues that are with Call of Duty sound. The other thing to know about the compass is although it shows things in front of you, it won't necessarily show what level they are. For example, in a building they may be on the floor above you or they may be below you, and the compass will not give you an inclination as to where they are. This is important to know when going into multi-level terrain, and always be wary of enemies that may be above or below you. To account for these changes to the UAV and the introduction of the compass in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I suggest that you take the early game a little bit more tactically. This doesn't mean camping a corner, but if you play a little bit safer and perhaps aim down your scope when you're going around corners, you should be able to get the first 3 or 4 kills fairly easily. Once you get your UAV and a little bit more information on the map, you can play a little bit more aggressively. With the added information that you and your team have, you should be able to hunt down the opposition. And doing so, you may be able to get further kill streaks and take control of the game. One final note and a fairly recent update into Call of Duty is the introduction of the square minimap. Now, although many players probably didn't realise this was patched in recently, and it means that instead of having a circle minimap, you can now have a square minimap. Again, a fairly small detail, but small details are what this game is all about. The square minimap gives you slightly more coverage, which means that, of course, you might see the extra enemy player and get that extra kill. This can be updated in the settings as shown in the video. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed this video. If you did, then be sure to like and subscribe for more content. And if you have any ideas of what tips you want to see or any more games you want to see featured in the channel, feel free to let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot.